Hello and welcome to Out and About. I'm Diane Gonzalez. One of the gems in Lincoln's historic University Place neighborhood is the Lux Center for the Arts. They've been celebrating a couple of big anniversaries in 2017. The center was organized 40 years ago, and it moved to its current location 30 years ago. And joining me now to talk about the past and mostly about the future of the Lux are Susan Christ, the Executive Director, and Lindsay Clausen, who is the Education Director. Thank you both so much for being here. Now, we are at Lincoln's current City Hall right now. Your current building was a former City Hall back when University Place was its own community.
That's right. Our building was built in 1914, and it was the original City Hall for the town of University Place. It was the City Hall for 10 years until it became annexed into the city of Lincoln. But it continued to be a police station and a fire station, and you can see the remnants of that in our building now that have been preserved.
Well, tell us a little more about the history of the Lux and the role Gladys Lux played in keeping the University Place Art Center and now the Lux going.
Gladys Lux was a professor of art at the Nebraska Wesleyan University. In fact, she was the art department there, and she had an interest in providing art experiences for people in that neighborhood and wanted to promote art in the community. So she began with others. It was conceived actually in a diner. It was 40 years ago in 1987, and in 1988 it was incorporated. But it began in a small house in the neighborhood, and Lindsay can probably tell us a little more about that because Lindsay grew up in that neighborhood.
I did, yeah. So I got to see the organization. I was too little to see it move into the current building, but I know I visited it when it was the University Place Art Center, which was it was kind of an early version of what the Lux is now. And I saw it when it transitioned and it bought the classroom spaces that we now teach classes in. And then I was an intern actually when I was taking classes, and I was soon starting my internship when we went through our name change.
So you have a long history. Some of your first art experiences were in that building, taking art classes as a kid.
Yes, absolutely. I visited the Lux first when I was a student at Huntington. We walked over there and did a field trip, and then I came back and I took a lot of pottery classes, and I ended up majoring in art at the University of Nebraska, emphasizing in ceramics.
And now you're back at the Lux.
Yes, I am.
All right. Tell us about some of the activities and programs. You have such a wide variety of things that you do there at the Lux.
Absolutely. So, I mean, we teach classes at the Lux Center for people who pay to take classes as well as students on scholarship. And one of our really big programs is outreach. So we have an art van deluxe, which goes to various sites around Lincoln, and we bring art to the people where they are. One of the biggest groups we serve with the art van is low-income elementary schools. We take after-school art classes to the schools, and we teach them, essentially doubling the amount of time the students there get to spend with an artist or, in an arts experience in that week.
And it was a school experience that led you to discover kind of a problem with the art van. Some of the kids wouldn't get finished, and they didn't have supplies at home. Tell us what happened.
That's right. The Lux's classes are taught by our artists in residence who come to us from all over the country, and we typically have up to 4 artists in residence at a time. And one of our artists in residence, Caitlin Farneth, was at one of the elementary schools teaching a class, and the student wasn't finished and didn't want to stop, and she said, "You can take that home and finish it." And the student said, "I don't have anything to finish it with at home." And it broke her heart, and she started noticing this over and over again. So Caitlin, along with other staff members, planned a fundraising program through Facebook, and wanted to raise money to provide supplies for students to take home who are students in our art van classes. And Lindsay can tell you a little bit about that.
Yes, so we have some pictures of the kids getting their supplies to take home. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Lindsay.
We did our fundraiser back in August, so this is our first group that we have been able to deliver to. So this are students at Huntington Elementary who were in an after-school art class with one of our artist-in-residence, Mackenzie. And we were able to provide them with a sketchbook, colored pencils that come in a box with a kind of a ruler lid, and a pencil sharpener, as well as some crayons. So just kind of the basic art supplies to be able to do some creative work at home. That's
great. Now the Art Vandalux also goes to, it serves a wide variety of ages, correct?
Right, so just as far as numbers, the most students we serve are in the after-school program, but we also serve usually about 250 students a year at the Lancaster County Youth Services Center, which serves like detained youth. And so with that program, our artists in residence go out there and then they build relationships with these kids, and they are able to, you know, give them an introduction into the arts and teach them sort of an alternative language for self-expression.
Now, one of the newest additions at the Lux is the new ceramic studio. Susan, tell us how this came about.
This was a long time in the planning, and it was a dream of people who came way before me. So they've been working on it starting maybe 7 or 8 years ago, and began a capital campaign to raise money to renovate an adjacent building into a dedicated ceramics center. So in that building we now have 2 large ceramics classrooms, one with 12 wheels and one for hand building. And in addition to that, we have our 4 artist-in-residence studios together in that building, and we have a student gallery, so we can have shows featuring works that our students do over a period of time. It's been a great asset for us to be able to add that, to be able to offer that to the community, and in addition, it frees up our other education space to expand other offerings that we've got going. So that's really exciting, and this is really just the first part of what we have planned at the Lux. In addition to the Ceramic Center, our next phase is going to be to renovate our 114-year-old building to give it the love that it needs. It's served well, and it needs some care, and it will serve for a long time. It's a great building. It's got wonderful features, and we're excited to get to a point where we can refinish the floors and take care of it a little bit more. We're hoping that we can complete the fundraising for that project by March.
Now you have some good supporters. I know any nonprofit needs some good supporters to keep it going. How do you fund all the great work that you do there?
Well, there's a number of ways that we do, because we have a number of individuals that have supported us year in and year out, and that's so important. They care about art in the community. They love the Lux. They come to us. They tour our gallery every month when we have new shows, and it's free to everyone. So there's a lot of individuals that want to continue to see that happen. In addition, we do have some students that pay tuition to take classes on site. Some organizations pay us to take our art van out to others. In addition to that, we do seek funding from charitable organizations, grant-making organizations, and also companies that want to see this sort of thing happen and are excited to sponsor it.
It's good to promote creativity in the community, and Lux does that in a variety of ways. Tell us about the annual winter show that's going on now. It's a great opportunity for people to get some gift giving taken care of.
Yeah, absolutely. So in our large gallery, we've sort of expanded our shopping offerings for this season. We've got handmade artworks from, I'm not sure how many artists. It's 30 or 40, I'm sure.
At least.
Yeah, and so everything that we offer is handmade by people. And some of it's local artists, some of it's more regional, some of it's even international. But we really like to bring high quality handmade art to Lincoln for this time of year.
Yeah. The other thing that we currently have is our mug show, which this is the 8th year doing it, and we have entries come in from ceramicists all over the country. Doug Peltzman, who's a well-respected ceramicist, was our juror this year, and he chose 22 artists' work to be represented in our mug show. So we also have 50-some mugs that are available to purchase that have been juried into this show.
And one of the other things that Gladys Lux contributed to the Lux Center that bears her name is her print collection. Tell us about how that is managed, because there's something like 400 prints that she donated.
Yes, and they are there by well-known artists, many of them, and they're wonderful examples of their works. She collected these over time while she was a professor at Wesleyan University to show her students examples of work that was before computers and the availability of all of these things online. So she collected these to show the fine examples and then donated them to the Luxe. We have a curator who works with us 4 days a week, and every 3 months she puts up a new show chosen from the collection of prints that Gladys Lux provided for us.
I want to ask someone who sort of grew up at the Luxe, what makes the Luxe so special there in the University Place neighborhood?
I think it's just such a unique gem for the whole city of Lincoln, and especially that neighborhood, to have such high quality art at in such an accessible way. I think is really special. For me, I mean, I was able to experience the Luxe as a student and as an intern and as a volunteer and as a teacher, and now in this job. So I've kind of gotten to see the value that it brings to each different level.
And what can we expect in 2017, Susan?
We have some exciting shows coming in with both local, regional, and international artists, and we welcome everyone to come out and take a look at it. In addition, we've expanded our class offerings, and for the first time ever, we're offering all-day classes for students in the summer.
Great. So. Well, the website is, as you told me, the website is new. I was looking at it to prepare for this show, and it's a beautiful website.
Thank you.
You can find out about the history, about all the classes, all the exhibitions coming up. It's very simple, luxcenter.org. So make a trip to the Lux Center for the Arts. Again, they have the annual winter show, Gifted, up right now, and you can get all your Christmas shopping there. I imagine it's things in all different price ranges.
Absolutely. There's every price point you can imagine.
So, and the Lux Center is 2601 North 48th. It's a beautiful, historic building. Take a trip, have some fun, and maybe enroll in the class and learn how to do art.
That's right.
Thank you both so much for being with us and for all the great work there that you do at the Luxe.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you.
When we come back, Jeff Mull will join us to talk about some of the more fun things happening in this holiday season around Lincoln. Stay with us. Welcome back to Out and About. Jeff Mull joins me now. And Jeff, we forgot to do Christmas decorations this year.
It is somewhat of a tradition that you and I decorate this environment of ours.
We'll do double next year.
Really?
Yeah.
Double, like we'll have
Double.
Santa here,
we'll
the
have
elves.
Everything.
What's Bo dressing up?
sleigh,
Is Bo going to
reindeer.
dress up for us?
I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
All right. Okay, well, a lot of the events we have today are holiday themed, and we're going to start out with the Rail Yard Ice Rink because they're also going to show some Christmas movies.
They are, and the Rail Yard Ice Rink is appropriately located down the Rail Yard District. It's an area that's a great tailgating spot for people by football season. But this time around, they're going to have some great movies going on different nights of the week, Thursday, Fridays, Saturdays. And just a lot of great things going on down there. Great place to get hot cocoa and popcorn and just a lot going on the rail yard. And I was a little worried here about a week ago. We've been hovering in the 60s lately with temperatures, and today, when we tape this, it's going to be dropping and perfect ice skating weather.
I can feel the cold front moving in right now, but also we want to remind people to check their website for holiday hours, and also if the weather gets bad, they might not have regular hours as well.
You bet.
Keep an eye on that. All right, the North Pole Express continues at the Lincoln Children's Zoo, but your last chance to see it is the weekend of December 15th through 17th.
Great chance to jump on the North Pole Express right here in Lincoln and head yourself through Candy Cane Lane, get a chance to intermingle with Santa, all of his animal friends at the Lincoln Children's Zoo. And I'll tell you what, enjoy these treats. They've been made personally for every school or every child out there in Lincoln by the elves themselves.
By the elves, that's right. And then Mrs. Claus is going to let you decorate your own cookie as well.
Mrs. C?
Mrs. C, the big one.
I like it.
So the kids are going to go home all sugared up from this, but hey,
good luck with nap time.
It's the holidays. So also the Santa Station and Mistletoe Mailbox will be going right up through Christmas. The last time to see Santa, get your letter in the mailbox is December 24th. Also, the mistletoe mailbox is, they must have express delivery if they're taking letters through the 24th.
Yeah, by wire, directly to
Yeah,
Santa.
must
If
be.
you get it in there, I'll tell you what, it's never too late to submit to Santa what you want for Christmas.
I
right?
start in January.
Do you?
So, yeah.
Does he talk? Does he get back to you for the following year or what?
A correspondence.
All right,
It's a
good,
negotiation. So, Candy House Fun Shop continues also at the Children's Museum. This is have all the fun without the mess you have to clean up at your house. They also have a take-home kit as well if you do want the mess at your house. So
Yeah, nothing's better than making a mess at somebody else's place and walking away. So
That's right.
This is an annual tradition at the Lincoln Children's Museum. They do a great job of allowing people to decorate their own candy fun shop houses. They'll have all the fixins like you mentioned.
that's right. Also, the Children's Museum is doing their annual Make Believe Midnight with the famous bubble
Yay.
wrap stomp.
Love it. That's my favorite. And a countdown and a balloon drop. What's neat about this as parents is you get a chance to celebrate with your kids early. You can get them home, get them in bed. There might be a sitter that can come over, and mom and dad can still go out and celebrate the New Year's holiday with one another.
All right. The Keelan Family and Friends Christmas Concert, the 30th annual, is coming up.
Wow.
Friday, December 22nd. They've got an all-star lineup for this one, and all the proceeds are going to benefit the Lincoln Music Teachers Association's Music Outreach Program.
I feel like you and I have talked about this for 30 years because this is the one event that I remember every year. I saw Mally in a coffee shop years ago and he came up and said, thanks so much to you and Diane for talking about our event, telling people it's just a warm Christmas environment. But there's too many names to list here. All
There's
of his
a
friends
lot.
are going to be there.
Mally Keelan, of course,
Yep.
the great singer Mally Keelan. He directs the show. One of the featured singers is Sandy Van Pelt. I
Very
don't know if she's
nice.
been in the show before, but she's a local favorite. And John Stevens Berry is going to be one of the readers, so that's pretty cool.
I think that's fun.
There's another familiar name in here, someone named Michael Keelan. I think he may be related to Mally.
More than likely, yes.
More than likely.
Yes.
Right. Alban Music has a couple of its holiday favorites coming up. The first is more of a religious concert.
Yes, it is. The Plymouth Choir, Plymouth Ringers, and Alban Music Orchestra will raise their voices to share the holy healing message of Christmas along with music and stories from around the world. Sounds like a very warm and spiritual environment. First Plymouth Congregational Church, this is a free concert.
And if you're looking for a blast on New Year's Eve, Alban Music has it for you. The Last Blast with the Plymouth Brass.
Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
That's awesome. Two of Alban Music's most beloved special guests, Jack Levick and Jeremy Bankson, will return to Lincoln for an entertaining end to 2017. Come enjoy champagne and appetizers at the anniversary reception from 6:30 to 7:30. From there, party on.
Party on. It's New Year's Eve 2018,
Yes.
just around the corner. And the Capitol Jazz Society continues its Monday nights at the Cottonwood Cafe. December 18th, they're going to feature the Jesse McBee Quartet.
Yes.
This is a great venue, the Cottonwood Cafe. If you haven't been over there lately, it's got a little feel of the old Dugans with
It
some of the
does.
old
Yeah.
some of the old artwork in there, but it's a really great place.
Nice
They
little coffee shop by day as well.
Yes, it is. Best Christmas pageant ever continues at the Playhouse through the 17th. This is your chance to see the most rotten kids in town take over the Christmas pageant.
They take over the lead roles in their Christmas pageant. This will be at the Lincoln Community Playhouse.
I believe they're called the Herdmans.
They are the Herdmans.
The
yes.
Herdmans?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, the Nebraska Repertory Theater is continuing its season with a special event, a holiday cabaret. And this features a female singing trio called the Lakeshore Dolls, all the way from Chicago.
You would be talking about the sweet singing
Yes.
female trio.
That's right. I missed the sweet singing part.
That should be a lot of fun.
It should be. It should be. And there's also going to be some rep performers in there, emerging artists.
Yep.
So it's going to be a great night. Bob Rook at the Tada has cooked up quite an event there with some big Broadway stars. There's going to be a master class and a cabaret.
Yeah, Robert Westenberg and Kim Crosby will join the event for a special fundraising event. And as you mentioned, there will be a master class as well as cabaret concert. A lot of great things going on in one night. Not surprised at the Tada Theater that he's bringing together quite the list of entertainers.
That's right. If you Google these people, Robert Westenberg and Kim Crosby, you'll see that they were in the original production of Into the Woods on Broadway. He played the Wolf Prince and she played Cinderella.
Oh, wow.
So,
Nice
yeah,
match.
this should be a really great,
Yeah.
great opportunity for a lot of people to see some Broadway stars right here in Lincoln. Lead Center, lots of fun at the Lead Center. We're going to start with the Nutcracker, which is just an annual, it's a beautiful annual spectacle. 200 student dancers.
Probably one of the first things that my to-be wife and I did when she tried to bring a little bit of class into my life. She took me to the Nutcracker, and since then I've been just amazed by everything that goes into this. Featuring 200 student dancers, nationally known guest artists, and a live orchestra. Great way to kick off the holiday season at the Lead Center.
And shout out to Lincoln Midwest Ballet for putting this on every year.
Yes.
It's great. Hannah Houston is back at the Lead. Of course, she became famous on The Voice, season 10 of The Voice. She's done a couple welcome home performances with the symphony. This is going to be a great holiday concert.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's getting tired of Hannah Houston. She puts everything into all of her performances. Lincoln and Nebraska and the country fell in love with her. Great opportunity to see her at the Lead Center.
All right, the Lead's going to start out January with a trip to Prehistoric Australia.
Roar!
That's the best you can do?
Roar!
That's a little better.
All right, that's better. They travel back 65 million years as Earth's Dinosaur Zoo Live guides your family on a breathtaking tour through prehistoric Australia. Lifelike dinosaurs, full-size dinosaurs, and it's appropriate for ages 5 and up.
Yeah, kids under 5 might get a little intimidated by those, but this is the night they also have Fan Fest before the show, so come early and have a lot of fun. That starts at 5:30, and then the show itself a little at 7 p.m.
Sure to stimulate the imagination.
All right. One of the most beloved musicals of all time, a brand new stage production is coming to the Lead, The Sound of Music. Oh my goodness. Who doesn't love The Sound of Music?
It is an amazing, and I finally actually saw this for the first time full length last year. I've seen bits and pieces for years. Great opportunity to see this on the live stage. A lot of great scores and music that you remember. It's just a great sing-along, great family classic.
Yes, it is. All right, let's go out to the Lancaster Event Center for something a little different. They're going to race some go-karts. This is the 8th annual Indoor Speed Dash National Championship.
This is a big deal. Go-karts have become a big deal at the Lancaster Event Center. Of course, if you remember our November show, we talked about the Turkey Chase Indoor Go-Kart Shootout. They're going to come back again in December and have this event. And there's a lot of great things going on at the Event Center. December 29th, 30th, and 31st. Great way to close out the year with a little bit of speed.
I'm kind of a chicken on go-karts.
Are you really?
Yeah, I want to go fast, and I'm afraid I'm going to
just mash the pedal, girl. Go.
Maybe next time.
All right.
All right. I love the name of this next event. It's called the Cabin Fever Antique Show, and everybody gets a little cabin fever in the middle of January.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity, January 13th and 14th. Out at the Lancaster Event Center to pick up some after Christmas antique specials. A lot of great things that people pull out of their collections, and a lot of great antiquing goes on at the Event Center each year.
It's a great venue for that. All right, we're going to wrap up today by talking about cowboys. The Great Plains Art Museum has a new exhibit going up January 9th, and it's going to be up through April, and it features lots of cowboys.
Yeah, and the event is free, exploring how this icon of American culture has been depicted over the last century through artworks selected by and from their permanent collection. Of note will be key bronzes from renowned cowboy artist Charles Russell and Frederick Remington. A lot of people know Remington's work because of his cowboy culture. This should be a lot of fun and great photography in there as well.
That's right. Cowboys are an interesting subject, that's for sure. That's a hard life, being a cowboy.
It is. Kind of wished I would have had a chance.
You should go to one of those dude ranches and try it.
I would not work well in that environment.
You're thinking city slickers, aren't you?
Right. Do it once, right?
All right, Jeff. Thank you very much for being with us today. And as usual, the Visitors Center is open to welcome everyone from Lincoln. Boy, you sure have a key spot there in the Haymarket.
We love our key spot in the Haymarket. Our visitor center is at 7th and P, and I often tell people when you come in the east side of the Lincoln Station, that's what's old. That's what the past and historic nature of what the historic Haymarket represents. It's a time machine. You walk straight through that building, come out on that backside, and you see Olson and Associates and Huddle and this new rail yard district. So it's an amazing transformation down there. So stop down and see us. We got a lot of great things going on.
Hot chocolate?
Hot chocolate, cold water.
All right.
Doesn't get any better.
Thank you very much, Jeff. And your website is lincoln.org.
You got it.
You got a great website.
It's easy.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much. And when we return, Tom Lorenz will join us from Pinnacle Bank Arena. Stay with us. Welcome back to Out and About. Tom Lorenz joins us now with some of the latest from Pinnacle Bank Arena and Pinewood Bowl.
Right.
Little Pinewood Bowl in there. But we've got some new announcements since our last show, a couple of big country shows coming up this spring.
We do. There's some really great stuff that's coming up. We were able to announce Brad Paisley, who is extending his Weekend Warrior World Tour. Brad's guests are going to be Dustin Lynch, Chase Bryant, and Lindsay L. The show will be April 26th, and if you watch the CMA Awards, you notice that Brad is one of the presenters. He's been a superstar in the country world for a long time, tells great stories with his songs, and we really look forward to having Brad and his friends come and visit us at Pinnacle Bank Arena. And
Chris Young is a name I'm not familiar with.
Well, Chris is becoming a new superstar. He's kind of the next guy who's going to be up there. He's bringing his Losing Sleep World Tour. He's coming in and added 12 new dates. His guests are Kane Brown and Morgan Evans. Chris has played here in town before, and usually as an opener or the smaller clubs. He's really gaining traction. A lot of great new albums coming out. He's just recently been asked to join the Grand Ole Opry, which is a real honor for country stars, and we really look forward to having him come on May 12th.
And Cirque du Soleil is coming back. How many Cirque shows have been here now?
This will be our third Cirque show.
That's what I thought.
Right, and so it's an honor to have them come back. To have Corteo come, it is already played for over 8 million people. They've visited 64 cities in 19 countries, and now we get them in Lincoln, Nebraska. It's a festive parade imagined by a clown. The show brings together the passion of the actor with the grace and power of the acrobat to plunge the audience into a theatrical world of fun, comedy, and spontaneity, situated in a mysterious space between heaven and earth.
Well, Cirque is always magic. And there's 6 performances?
There's 6 performances, and it's a wonderful set. It's a little more intimate set. It's not the full arena. I mean, it's certainly on the floor, but it's not seating all the way up to the 300 level. So as folks come in, get tickets, they'll be very close to the activities, very close to the action. And Cirque is always so magical. We're really thrilled to have them come back in.
All right, let's talk about some of the other shows that are coming up in the near future. Seasons Beatings, MMA is coming back.
You know, mixed martial arts continues to grow in popularity, and Train, who puts together the show, and his group do an excellent job of it. It's always a fun time to come in, and fun doesn't sound right for MMA, but it is. It's great athletes who get to show off their learned expertise, and it's a great night that's coming up on December 9th.
Kind of a weekend of contrasts. You've got the MMA on December 9th, and then the very next day you have a whole bunch of kids at the Elks Party.
You know, we look forward. We've been doing the Elks Party. I've been in Lincoln and at Pershing for over 20 years now. We've been doing the Elks Party all that time. What a wonderful group of people the Elks are, and they put this party together for kids who maybe don't have the biggest Christmas all the time, and it's starting to expand again. I know years ago they told the story of how that was the biggest thing around Christmas, and it's starting to get that way again. And it's really nice to come down into the rail yard with the skating zone out in the rail yard and all the other things. There'll be some decorations up, and again, the folks at the Elks do a wonderful job. It's a very nice time for families to come together, get the kids into that Christmas spirit, and have a little candy and entertainment while they're doing it.
And Santa.
And Santa. Definitely Santa, you know, always seems to make an appearance, and people can climb up and tell him what they want for Christmas.
It sounds like fun. I wish I could still crawl up there and tell Santa
Wouldn't
what
that
I
be
wanted
fun?
for Christmas. Yes.
Yep.
We want to talk a little bit about the Harlem Globetrotters, the ever-evolving Harlem Globetrotters. It's a new show every time you see them.
It really is, and they continue to not only have the expertise they've always had over the years, where these are great athletes, and it's not just guys anymore, it's guys and girls. It's an exciting time for the family. You know, it's really nice. This time of year we get to do a lot of family-oriented type of things. They love coming back to Lincoln. In fact, they've made it now back every year, and it's always a little different. There's always a new audience for it, and you can be 3 years old or you can be 93 years old and still enjoy that show. It's a wonderful, wonderful time with the Globetrotters. We're very happy to have them back on February 2nd.
All right, Avenged Sevenfold is coming February 8th, a little hard rock for the arena.
You know, we kind of haven't had that genre very much, and so we've had a lot of people ask for that. We're excited to have Avenged Sevenfold with Breaking Benjamin and Bullet for My Valentine. It'll be a great rock show. Diane, this thing is selling very well. We're very excited about the way that people are embracing this. Hopefully we'll be able to do some more of this type of show. And in February, what a great night to come out and see Avenged Sevenfold.
Now, can you tell from the ticket sales where people are ordering from? Is this a one of those shows that's a regional draw?
It is a little bit more of a regional draw. We draw mostly from not only Lincoln, but certainly from northern, western, and southern Nebraska. They're very comfortable coming in. But this is one of those shows, too, that kind of reaches across into Omaha. So we can look at zip code reports and see where people are buying tickets. And we do look at that. And it's very exciting to see that we are still a regional draw. And this is one of those shows that'll bring fans from Omaha and from Council Bluffs, too.
Now, two of the hottest shows around are coming in March, and that's Pink. That includes Pink March 6th and Lord March 24th. Let's start out talking about Pink on her return visit.
It's a return visit, and we're so pleased to have her coming back to Pinnacle Bank Arena. One of the most talked about shows that we've done, and we're in our 4th year, and we'll hit 5 here fairly soon, was Pink. And whether you know her music or not, she is a great musician. She sings about wonderful things, but her show is so electric. It is very physical, very visual. She flies around